And here we go. All right, so last week on my official bets, my official hypothetical bets, went 1 for 1, Whip Snakes Redwoods over. That was nice and easy. Um, and then I went 3 for 4 on picking teams who would win. The only one that I lost was the Chaos Water Dogs, which that was just fucking nuts. Even if I did predict that the Water Dogs would win, I would have never said it was going to go down like that. Besides that one blowout of a game, we had 3 other games that all went to 1 goal difference. Uh, the Atlas Archers game was fucking nuts because it was like 9 goals in the first quarter. And then from that point on, there was like another just fucking 10 through the rest of the game. It was absolutely unbelievable. Like just I don't know what it was, if it was first quarter adjustments or whatever you have. I was really, I guess, the Archers defense because Trevor Baptiste was a fucking lunatic. But yeah, that was a great game. We'll start here with the Woods Whip Snakes. Another good game. Surprisingly, here we had Bertrand with a fucking hat trick, which like you never fucking see that. Um, let's go to the Redwood stats real quick. We'll take a look at here. Yeah, Bertrand with 3 goals, which was crazy. You never really see that. Perk with a 2-pointer, and other than that, a lot of balanced scoring, which is nice to see. But just uh, I don't know. When at the bottom of your list are Rob Pennell and Miles Jones, it's probably not the greatest weekend for you. Defensively, Apple, I believe I put down here a couple times that Apple has good games against this team, or that might have been last weekend, but either way, Apple's kind of been a guy to go to. Gee, excuse me. I gotta fucking sneeze. Maybe not. Eddie Glazner was a good game too. TD Erlin, not the worst game at the stripe. 40% though, 7 ground balls and had a goal, so I guess I'll take it. And Tim Troutner, which is still one of the worst statistics I've ever seen in my life. On the other side, Zed Williams not doing what I thought he was going to do. 5 shots though, so he's getting the opportunities. Matt Rambo though, fucking carrying the team with 4 goals. Um, you kind of had to know that one of those guys were going to go off. It was either going to be Zed with 5 points or 9 points, or Rambo with his 6 points. You kind of knew it was going to come from somewhere, because that just having that duo back, it's usually one or the other. Um, Brad Smith with a good game. Michael Earnhardt with a 2-pointer puts him at a 3-point game. Uh, hey, he had not no calls turnovers, which is interesting, but he did have 3 ground balls, which helps out. Ty Warner with a hell of a fucking game out of their short stick D man. Uh, Nardella with exactly what I said he was going to go with, 65%, 8 to 12 ground balls. He had 9. And Bernlar, not with the greatest game ever, but 55 save percentage. That'll get the job done. Um, kind of just continues. Whips are 6-2 in the series. They're 4-0 this year. Redwoods are going to have to figure it out going up against next week's Archers. Next, we have the Water Dogs and the Chaos. So Dylan Ward was not back. He was back, but he didn't play. They stuck it out with Matt DeLuca, and I fucking give him credit for doing that. Face-off wise, I'm pretty sure TK just absolutely fucking ran the face-off dot, more or less, yeah. 54%, 10 ground balls, 1 point. Not too shabby of a weekend. Offensively, Dane Smith coming back had a good game. Chase Frazier coming back had a good game. Josh Byrne coming back, not the greatest game. And then defensively, about about what you expect. No one really above and beyond the rest. And then defensively, goaltender speaking, 44%, 18 scores against, including 3 2-pointers. That's tough, man. Tough for Blaze Reardon. Um, Definitely hasn't been the best goaltender in the league. I think it's kind of gone back to Bernlohr. Bernlohr was maybe the best in the first season, but they ended up giving it to Blaze, which is not neither of them would have been a wrong answer per se. But interesting to see how this is all going down this year. Um, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's Blaze. I don't know if it's their defense. I don't know. They're winning faceoffs. Couldn't really tell you. Shit. Ryan Brown continues his fucking tear. He's previously had a 3-goal game. In this game, he has 4. He's really got the number on Blaze. Connor Kelly with a hell of a fucking game with 2 2-pointers. You don't see that all too often. He'll all of a sudden goes from last tied for last in the league to tied in the first in the league for 2 pointers. And Mikey Sowers coming back with a hell of a fucking game. And Connor Kelly, I think, had this crazy fucking bounce pass to Sowers, or maybe it was the other way around, but I don't think they were trying to pass it. But it was fucking right in front of the net. I mean, it's literally a bounce pass to this kid's fucking stick, like locked and loaded, ready to shoot. It was something to fucking watch. And then defensively, Rylan Reese with a 3-point game. Zach Currier, I think this is his first 3-point game. So not too bad to see. Rylan Reese also with 2 calls turnovers, 4 ground balls. So he must have had a hell of a game fantasy-wise. Faceoffs, actually, Zach Tucci, not really the worst. 14 for 26, 54%, 8 ground balls. Definitely gave him the chance to win. I mean, they fucking won, so there you go. And then Matt DeLuca, 55%. It's not like the Chaos had a crazy amount of shots against them either. I really didn't know where to go with that game, so I didn't really even place even any hypothetical bets, um, let alone my typical hypothetical bets. Cannons and Chrome, not what I thought this game was going to be. A lot tighter, but it was really the Chrome, like you can see here, the 4 goals to bring them into overtime, and then a lot of good stops each way, maybe even a couple times. Overtime was not quick, and the goal coming to I forget who scored the game-winning goal, but Asher Knowlton has been a fucking savage for this Cannons team. Lyle Thompson as well. Both of them kind of just carrying the rest. I'm surprised Ryan Drenner's not doing as good as I thought he was going to. Stephen Rafis with a really bad fucking season so far, especially compared to last season. Defensively, nothing to really fucking look at all too much. Like, no one had more than 1 caused turnover. Stephen Kelly fucking shit the bed at the faceoff X. You had to kind of know it was going either way. Farrell's been close to 60 one time. Stephen Kelly was 70% one time, so you kind of knew it was either one way or the other. That's usually how it goes. And then Nick Morocco at 57% save. That's a much more Nick Morocco like game. On the other side, we have Nick Turn, 5 points, 4 assists. Jesus. Some stat guy's doing him a fucking favor. And then Justin Anderson with 3. The rest of the team, man, just fucking Wellhouse, Mully, Wisniewski, Salama, Tarafanko, McIntosh, Messenger, all with fucking 1 or 2 points. So they were all just putting in their work. Defensively, Will Hoss probably had a hell of a fantasy game here. Same thing with Messenger. Usually not a couple of guys that you would really think to throw in your fantasy lineup, but maybe now we do. Connor Farrell with the 12 ground balls, and he went 64%. Not too fucking shabby. And I think I played Ryan Tarafanko in my fantasy. I think he got me about 10 points. Not too bad. And Sean Saccone, whatever, however you want to fucking say it. 54%. Nothing I mean they really went head for head, but they just got the best of Nick Morocco towards the end. It's tough when you're losing all the fucking face-offs. I mean that's how it kind of went was there's like 6, 7, 8 straight face-off wins for Connor Farrell, and it was just like, fuck. Can we stop playing fucking defense for like 1 second, 1 possession? And then this game was crazy. Like I said, yeah, it was nine scores after the first, and then they scored 6 in the third, and that was pretty much the entire game. If you watched the first and the third, you saw it all. Matt Moore continues to do it for the fucking Archers. Rookie had a hattie. But other than that, Tom Schreiber not with the greatest game. He actually had 0 points, 2 goals, but also 5 turnovers. Not what you want to see. And other than that, like Will Manny had 2 assists. I kind of called him not having a great day. Cannon's a very good in-tight goaltender, and that's kind of where Will Manny also thrives. So it wasn't the greatest matchup for him. Dominic Alexander, 3 calls a lot of calls turnovers for the Archers. I mean, you had to cause a lot of turnovers to only give up 10 goals, especially when you lost, let's see, 80% of the faceoffs because Ignacio only went 20%. And then you had Adam Gittleman, 52%. Not a bad game, but only 11 saves. Wow. I mean, that's a tough look to go 86% with 15 ground balls at a fucking point. Jesus, that was definitely a good start. T-Bap, that's for sure. But only to get off like 11 shots on goal. Fuck. T Law, not what they were like in the first couple of games, but not what they were like last game. So that's a big up for them. Both with a hat trick. Jeez, 10 shots for T though. And other than that, just some balanced scoring from the rest of the team. Craig Chick, Van Rapport, both with a good amount of caused turnovers. Other than that, nothing else. Craig Chick's probably start for me next week. We'll see. I think he might be he'll probably end up being a one next week though. And then Concannon, like how we said, he's going to be great and tight. Didn't really give up a whole lot, and he continues to be the best goalie in terms of save percentage. And let's take a look at next week's Archers Redwoods. This is without even thinking about anything. Um, I'm a little bit behind just because of this going to that conference last weekend. So this usually would have came out Sunday night, but now it's coming out Tuesday. But I got like 4 listeners, so it really doesn't fucking matter. Archers Redwoods. I mean, I gotta think the Archers, but TD. This might be a good option to put in TD Erlin actually, just because I think that he'll have a coming off of a good weekend against a good face-off guy. Maybe he gets the ball rolling a little bit. Atlas Chrome, I think everyone's going to be looking for that. I think that might be the one that's kind of hard to predict for people. Chrome just have no fucking quit in them. Chaos Cannons, I really want to go Cannons, but again, it's going to be tough voting against the Chaos. Whip Snakes, Water Dogs, damn, we've heard, I mean, every week it's fucking good, but this is particularly tough. Um, Atlas Chrome, I'm going to say over 23.5. Whip Snakes, Water Dogs, I'm going to go with the under for sure. So let's click these off just to see if I can remember. Chaos Cannons. I might go. I don't know. Fuck, this is tough. Cats are the favorite too. I might go Cannons plus 1.5, and then Archers Redwoods. Hmm. What did I say for this? Did I say the over or the under? I might go the under here. Oh no, I said TD for this. I'm gonna go Redwoods plus 1.5. Get rid of that. I think this is what I'm going with. Plus 1,000 odds. We got the Redwoods plus 1.5, Atlas over, Atlas Chrome over, Cannons plus 1.5, and Whipsnakes Water Dogs under. That's about it. Yeah, I'll go through each of these teams' matchups like I always do. That'll be on the Thursday one, and I'll give my final picks, and we'll take a look through all that stuff. Actually, we should be able to see now who's going where. So let's take a quick look here, because these should be out by now. If I go back home, PLL Nation, my team, I should be able to take a quick look to see who's where. Oh yeah, here we go. So all automatically, I mean, I went with the over, so I might go with Nick Churn. Will Manny is probably going to be my go-to though. Archers against the Redwoods. Will Manny might have a fucking dog day against Troutner. Yeah, Teat, Sowers, Manny, Nick Churn, Lyle. I think my favorite one there is Nick Churn or Manny. Out of the twos, Gutterding was Newskis. Wisniewskis isn't a bad two. Gray, Brown. Brown is probably Brown is tough because the Whipsnakes play good defense. Matt Moore is a pretty good attractive two. Matt Rambo's not a bad two either. Going against the Water Dogs, he could have a hell of a day. Rapinel's a tough two. Garnsey and then Garnsey and down are threes. Zed Williams still has a three. fuck, that's gonna be tough to give up. Midfield wise, Dane Smith, 18 points in his first game. Might have to go with him again. Shribes was tough last game, so we'll see if he bounces back. If I had to guess so, he probably will. Wow, Jules as a fucking one. I guess he's had some fucking pretty good games, but they all come when he's going down and playing attack. Channy is a two I like. Perk is a two I like. Um, Caro is a two I think is interesting. Curry at a two, not too bad. Miles Jones at a two is fucking brutal. Brutal nowadays. And then down at the threes, nothing. If you're going with a three, Jack Hanna actually at a three isn't too bad. But if you're going for threes at a midfield, it's probably just not worth it. Ones though, damn, Garrett Apple. I mean, above and beyond the fucking best defensive man fantasy wise. I'm sure Rylan Reese just put his way up into a one. There's a fuck ton of ones. Earnhardt, Logan, Salama, Costabile, Ratliff, Glazner, Chick, and Tarafanko all at ones. Jeez, yeah, Tarafanko's a good one. Here you really got to go with twos or threes though. Um, yeah, Alexander, Gobrecht, Kate Van Rapport is a pretty good deal for a two. Um, I mean, this is all going to go down to matchups, though, but these are just some guys. There's a fuck ton of twos. There's just so many fucking defensemen. Jesus. Threes, maybe Nick Grill. Nick Grill kind of is interesting, but fuck, we'll see who's. This is where you can see a three and TD Erlin. There you go. But it's so tough to be like, oh no, I'm not going to play Trevor Baptiste. Who do they play again? Let's take a quick look for this upcoming week against Chrome. That'll be tougher. Yeah, the 1-2. And then I think it's Tucci with the Water Dogs. Yeah, going up against Nardella. And after that, Cannons against Chaos. That's tough. I think the go-to here would be TD Erlin, to be honest. And then goaltending wise, I usually like spending a two here. I think Cannon's not a bad pick. I guess against the Chrome it might be tough. Blaze against the Cannons, I really don't know anymore, man. Scanone against the Chrome, or on the Chrome against the Atlas. Those two are tough, man. Those two are tough. Water Dogs against the Whips. DeLuca, honestly, not the worst go-to. But I think if I was to go anywhere, I think I'm riding the hot hand and Concannon as my two. TD Erlin as my three. Defense here. Let's take a quick look down the stat lane. I'll leave this up, use my phone here. And we'll look at the teams with the most turnovers. We have the Whip Snakes, wow, right now, as the team with the most turnovers. So maybe a guy like Liam Burns is worth that too. Midfield, we can go with our one, where we could throw in a guy who's given up the most goals, most scores against. SA, the Cannons. Who's playing the Cannons? Let's take a quick screenshot of this. Actually, fuck it. So it's Cannons and Chaos. Wow. So that'll might have to go there because they both have the most goals against. Here, I'm gonna ride the hot hand with Dane Smith, and I'm gonna go with Will Manny. And I think this is my first thought. Will Manny against Timmy Troutner, who's not particularly great nowadays. Dane Smith going against a team that has given up the most scores against, and he's kind of been the guy. He's going to be the guy for them. Liam Burns going up against a team with the most turnovers. There you go. He's a bona fide stud. TD really in the only matchup. I mean, you have Farrell and Trevor Baptiste. You have Kelly and Kelly, and then you have this is the only other one that you could kind of go for is Nardella and against Tucci, or you have I guess Inacio against TD Erlin, and honestly, I think TD Erlin is gonna fucking wipe the floor, hopefully. And then you have Concannon going up against. That's the only one that's tough, but again, I'm riding the hot hand here. This is my way too early predictions. Fucking A. Let's get to it.